Welcome back to the Premium Coin Deals channel, coin lovers and treasure hunters. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin from 1964, with no mint mark, could be worth up to $1.7 million today? Yes, we're talking about the 1964 no mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, a small coin with a huge secret. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your change jar or old coin collection. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It features the profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the front, and his estate, Monticello, on the back. In 1964, the U.S. Mint produced over 2.8 billion Jefferson nickels. That's a huge number. But here's the twist: although 1964 nickels seem common, a few rare types slip through the cracks, and that's where the value skyrockets. Most 1964 nickels were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, or Denver, with a D mint mark. So why is the no mint mark version special? First, 1964 was the final year before the U.S. Mint froze the dates on nickels due to the coin shortage in the mid-1960s. Second, because of the massive production run, quality control slipped, and a few error coins were created. Some 1964 no mint mark nickels were struck with proof dies, double dies, or on incorrect planchets, making them extremely rare. One such error coin, in pristine condition and with unique characteristics, sold for $1.7 million at auction. So, what sets the $1 million version apart? Here are 5 things to look for. No D under Monticello means it's from Philadelphia. If the steps on the back are fully struck and visible, it could be high grade. Look for doubling on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. Rare nickels struck on penny or foreign coin planchets. Proof-like surface or satin finish, coins mistakenly struck using proof dies. Money bag: combine one or more of these with a top-grade condition, and you're sitting on a fortune. If you think you have one of these valuable nickels, don't rush to sell it at a pawn shop. First, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A mint state, MS67 or higher, with full steps and rare error could fetch hundreds of thousands, or millions, at top auctions like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. In 2022, a verified 1964 no mint mark Jefferson nickel with a rare die error and nearly flawless condition stunned the numismatic world by selling for $1.7 million. You don't need fancy tools to get started. Here's what you need: look through those old jars, drawers, or inherited boxes. Check the date, 1964. No D. Now zoom in on the back. Are the steps clear? Look closely at the words. Any doubling? Even if it's not worth $1.7 million, it might still sell for $100, $1,000, or more, just because of its grade or rarity. Coins like the 1964 no mint mark Jefferson nickel prove that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, even in your pocket change. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin? 1978 D Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin that could be sitting in your pocket change, and it's rumored to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's right, one nickel, 5 cents, now commanding a millionaire's price tag. But why? What makes this coin so valuable? Stay tuned, because you don't want to miss the secrets hidden in this tiny piece of metal. Let's start with the basics. The 1978 D Jefferson nickel was minted in Denver, and like most nickels from this era, it features Thomas Jefferson on the front and Monticello, his Virginia home, on the back. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced over 297 million of these coins at the Denver Mint. So you might ask, with so many in circulation, how could one possibly be worth $1.8 million? Well, the answer lies in rare errors, perfect condition, and historical anomalies. Even a coin that was mass-produced can become a once-in-a-lifetime treasure if something extraordinary happened during its minting. Now here's where it gets exciting. The coin in question isn't your average nickel. Experts believe that a 1978 D Jefferson nickel recently sold at a private auction for $1.8 million due to a combination of rare features. If you flip over a Jefferson nickel and look at the Monticello steps, a perfect coin will show 5 or 6 fully struck steps. No smudging, no flattening. These full steps nickels are rare, especially from the 1970s when minting quality varied. A 1978 D with 6 full steps in perfect condition is nearly unheard of. Coin grading is everything in the collector's world. An MS-68 or MS-69 Jefferson nickel from 1978 is ultra-rare. Most coins don't survive decades without wear. This one was likely preserved in a mint set or somehow escaped circulation. The $1 million example is believed to have an unconfirmed double die error, where the coin's design appears slightly duplicated, often in the text or details of Jefferson's portrait. These errors make coins extremely collectible. Some high-value coins have unique histories. This particular nickel may have been part of a special strike batch or come from a known collection, further driving its auction value. Now you're probably thinking, could I have one of these nickels at home? Absolutely, and here's how to check. Look for the D mint mark to the right of Jefferson's ponytail. Flip the coin and inspect the Monticello steps under magnification. Can you see 5 or 6 clear steps? Check for sharp details and no scratches, signs of a high grade. Watch for doubling in the words Liberty, In God We Trust, or on the building itself. If the coin looks perfect, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Use a 10x magnifying loupe and a good light source when checking details. Even if yours isn't the $1 million coin, there's still good news. Other 1978 D nickels in MS-65 to MS-67 with full steps regularly sell for $50 to $1,000 at auction. One PCGS graded MS-67 full steps example fetched over $3,000 recently. And that's why it pays to check every coin. Even a simple nickel might hold a small fortune. So, is your 1978 D Jefferson nickel worth $1.8 million? Maybe, if you've got that perfect storm of condition, rarity, and error. The key takeaway here is this: never overlook your pocket change. Coin collecting is full of surprises, and your next big discovery might just be sitting in a jar at home. If you have a 1978 D Jefferson nickel, let us know in the comments. Describe what you see, maybe we can help you figure out if it's valuable. And if you'd like a video on how to submit coins to PCGS or NGC, drop a yes in the comments. Subscribe for more videos on rare coins, valuable pennies, nickels, and more, because next time, we might reveal a quarter worth $2 million. 1992 P Jefferson nickel and why collectors are shelling out millions. So let's start with the basics. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938 and features Thomas Jefferson on the front and his Monticello home on the back. In 1992, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, with a P mint mark right next to Monticello. But what makes some of these coins different? What sets the valuable one apart from the common ones you see every day? Let's break it down. This isn't just about age or rarity, it's about a rare minting error and pristine condition. The $1.6 million Jefferson nickel isn't just a fluke. It's believed to have a deep strike with full steps, near perfect luster, and most importantly, a die error that created a unique design variant. Full steps refer to the 5 or 6 visible steps on Monticello. Most nickels show blurred steps due to weak strikes, but the $1 million nickel has clearly defined, crisp steps. Only a handful of these were struck with such detail before the dies were worn out. One coin, graded MS-68 full steps by PCGS, sold for an astronomical $1.6 million at auction. Wondering if you might have this nickel in your change jar? Here's what to look for. Check the mint mark. Look for a 1992 P. Inspect the reverse side. Are the Monticello steps fully visible with clear separation? Use a magnifier. You'll need one to check the fine details. Look for sharp edges, strong strike, and no visible wear. If it's uncirculated and you spot all of these traits, it's worth getting it professionally graded by NGC or PCGS. Even coins with slightly less detail can still fetch hundreds or thousands. The coin world is buzzing over this Jefferson nickel. Back in, insert year, One coin sold for $1.6 million due to its flawless condition and extreme rarity. And because demand is growing, experts believe future sales could go even higher. Investors are now treating rare coins like art, buying and holding them as assets. And coins like the 1992 P Full Steps nickel? They're the holy grail. If you think you have one of these valuable nickels, don't rush to a pawn shop or eBay. Here's what to do. Take clear, high-res photos, front and back. Get a professional opinion, preferably from NGC or PCGS. Consider submitting your coin for grading and encapsulation. Then approach major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Remember, condition is everything. A rare error alone won't bring millions unless it's nearly flawless. While you're checking your coins, don't forget to look for these other valuable Jefferson nickels. Who knows, you might be sitting on a jackpot. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. You never know, someone might be holding a fortune without even realizing it. 1994 D Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. What makes this seemingly common coin worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Stick around to find out. Before we get into the specifics of the 1994 D Monticello nickel, let's talk about what makes a coin valuable. Most coins are worth just face value, right? But there are a few factors that can turn a regular coin into a collector's dream. Rarity is key. The fewer coins in circulation, the more they're worth. But rarity alone doesn't guarantee a high price tag. Condition, or grade, is another big factor. Coins in pristine condition, with little to no wear, can fetch huge amounts. Then, there's something called errors and variations. And this is where things get interesting with the 1994 D Monticello Jefferson nickel. The 1994 D Monticello Jefferson nickel was minted in Denver, and it looks pretty standard at first glance. It's part of the Jefferson nickel series, which has been circulating since 1938. But here's the kicker. While many 1994 D nickels are worth just a few cents, a rare, mint-condition version of this coin can be worth an astounding $1.8 million. So, what makes this specific coin so valuable? It's all about a rare error that occurred during the minting process. Some 1994 D Monticello nickels have a very subtle but significant error, a die clash. A die clash occurs when two coin dies make contact without a planchet, or blank coin, in between, causing an imprint on the coin's surface. This error is often small and can be tough to spot with the naked eye, but it's what sets these nickels apart. Look closely here at the obverse side, and you can see the faint imprint caused by the die clash. While the error might seem insignificant, it makes these coins highly sought after by collectors, especially when the condition is perfect. Finding one of these coins in pristine, mint condition is incredibly rare. And when they do pop up at auctions or through private sales, they can fetch up to $1.8 million. That's right, folks, $1.8 million for a 1994 D Jefferson nickel. Now, let's talk about the condition of these coins. The ones that have reached that $1.8 million mark are in impeccable condition, often graded MS67 or higher. These coins have no scratches, no tarnishing, and are virtually flawless. Collectors and investors will pay top dollar for coins that meet those criteria, and if you happen to have one of these gems, you're sitting on a literal gold mine, well, a nickel mine. So, how do you find a 1994 D Monticello nickel that could be worth a fortune? Let's break it down. The first thing you need to do is check the mint mark. It should have a D4 Denver right beneath Thomas Jefferson's neck on the obverse side of the coin. Next, inspect the coin for any signs of a die clash error. This is tricky to spot without a magnifying glass, but look closely around the Monticello building and the reverse side for any unusual markings or distortions. Now that you know what to look for, you might be wondering, where can you sell a 1994 D Monticello Jefferson nickel if you find one? Well, auction houses, coin dealers, and online marketplaces like eBay are great places to start. But remember, you'll want to work with a reputable dealer or auction house to make sure you get the best price for your coin. And if you do come across one of these nickels, make sure to get it graded by a professional coin grading service. That'll help ensure you get the highest possible value for it. So there you have it, the 1994 D Monticello Jefferson nickel, worth up to $1.8 million. While it may seem like a simple, everyday coin, the rarity, error, and condition of these nickels make them some of the most coveted in the coin collecting world. If you're out there hunting for rare coins, keep an eye on your pocket change. You never know what might be worth millions. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin tips, and share this with your fellow collectors. 1998 P Monticello Jefferson nickel. Yes, you've heard it right, a nickel worth a staggering $1.9 million. Stick around as we uncover the details of this elusive coin and how you can get your hands on one if you're lucky. Cut to footage of various coins with upbeat music. Let's start with the basics. The 1998 P Monticello Jefferson nickel is part of the U.S. Mint's regular coin production series, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, the iconic home of Jefferson, on the reverse. The 1998 coin itself was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P Mint mark. Now, at first glance, you might think this is just another everyday nickel, but if you look closely, you'll realize that some 1998 P Monticello Jefferson nickels are anything but ordinary. These rare examples feature striking errors or unique characteristics that can make them extremely valuable. So, what makes the 1998 P Monticello Jefferson nickel so valuable? The key lies in a special, rare error that happened during production. Most of these coins are worth only 5 cents, but some of them have a very specific, and highly sought after, feature that makes them worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Some 1998 P Monticello nickels were struck with an error in the design of Monticello, causing a distortion in the engraving. This error created a visual anomaly where the dome of Monticello appears to be either raised or misaligned, depending on the specific coin. Additionally, the unusual level of wear on some of these coins, paired with the rarity of the error, drives up their value. Now you might be wondering, how did this coin ever reach the point of being valued at $1.9 million? Well, a coin like this doesn't just appear out of thin air. It was discovered in 2014, when a coin collector noticed the unique error and submitted it for certification by the numismatic experts at PCGS. After it was authenticated, the coin was sent to an auction where it made history. It was sold to a private collector who had an eye for rare, high-value coins. The auction house estimated its worth to be around $1.9 million due to its incredible rarity and condition, and it didn't disappoint, selling for exactly that amount. And just like that, the 1998 P Monticello Jefferson nickel became a legend in the coin world. So, how do you know if you've got one of these million-dollar nickels in your possession? Let's break it down. First, check the mint mark. The 1998 P coin will have a P under the word Liberty on the obverse. Next, look closely at Monticello on the reverse side. You're looking for any visible distortion in the dome or other parts of the building. The error will cause Monticello to appear off-center, with an irregular alignment or strange gaps between the design elements. Be sure to also examine the overall wear and tear on the coin. Many of these error coins have a more worn appearance than typical mint-quality nickels, which can increase their rarity. If you find one of these nickels, get it evaluated by a certified numismatic expert. It could be the jackpot you've been looking for. Now, before you rush to check your coin jar, let's talk about certification. While it's exciting to think you might have a rare coin worth millions, it's important to have your coin authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Certification not only confirms the authenticity of the coin but also ensures that you're getting the full value if you ever decide to sell it. Coins without proper certification might not fetch nearly as much at auction or may even be deemed counterfeit. To wrap it up, the 1998 P Monticello Jefferson nickel is a rare find that could change the life of any coin collector lucky enough to stumble upon one. With its distinctive error and impeccable provenance, this nickel is worth an incredible $1.9 million. Who knows? Your pocket change might just contain a treasure waiting to be discovered. 2000 P Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, valued at an astonishing $1.6 million. Now you might be wondering, what makes this coin so valuable? Well, the 2000p mint mark Jefferson nickel is one of the most sought-after coins among collectors, and today, we're going to dive deep into why this coin can fetch such an eye-popping price. From its history to its rarity, this nickel is far more than just pocket change. First, let's take a step back and look at the Jefferson nickel series itself. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel has undergone a number of design changes over the years. The coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, with his home, Monticello, depicted on the reverse. The Monticello design has been a signature feature of the nickel since its inception. Now, let's get to the 2000p mint mark. The P on the coin indicates that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the primary minting locations for U.S. coins. The year 2000 was special because it marked the end of the 20th century and a shift into a new millennium. The U.S. Mint had issued a special series of coins to commemorate this milestone, but the 2000p Monticello Jefferson nickel stood out for its unexpected rarity. So, what makes this nickel worth $1.6 million? Well, it's a combination of factors. For one, this coin is incredibly rare. While most 2000p Jefferson nickels were mass-produced, a very small number of them were struck with a rare error, a doubled die, or a particularly unique minting flaw. This error makes the 2000p Monticello Jefferson nickel incredibly desirable to collectors. Show close-up images of the error, such as doubling or other visible imperfections. Some of these nickels were minted with doubling, meaning certain details on the coin are slightly offset. This double strike effect adds to the coin's uniqueness and value. In fact, some of these coins, in mint condition, have been known to fetch over $1.6 million at auction. So, how can you identify the rare 2000p Monticello Jefferson nickel among all the others in circulation? It all comes down to the details. Look closely at the design. In particular, check for any signs of doubling, especially on the word Monticello and the date. If you spot any unusual doubling, you may be holding a rare, high-value coin. Now, let's talk about the market for these coins. Rare coins like the 2000p Monticello Jefferson nickel are highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. Auction houses and specialized dealers frequently sell these nickels for astronomical sums. In fact, the $1.6 million price tag isn't just a number, it's the result of intense bidding wars and a growing interest in rare U.S. coins. Now, here's the exciting part. This means you could have one of these rare coins without even knowing it. If you have any 2000p Jefferson nickels, make sure to take a close look. Even if you don't spot any errors, you might have one in excellent condition that's worth more than face value. If you find one of these valuable coins, make sure to handle it with care. Use protective holders to prevent damage, and consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service. A certified graded coin will fetch a much higher price when sold. Cut to you, smiling at the camera, with the 2000p Monticello Jefferson nickel in hand. Who knows, the next time you dig through your spare change, you could find a coin worth over $1 million. Remember, when it comes to rare coins, knowledge is power, and keeping an eye on small details can lead to big rewards.